Hi, friends. It is week 3 and it is Thursday. It is Thursday, April 2nd. And so today for Bible, what we're going to do is we're going to review our memory verse. So I want you to do it with me. Our memory verse for this week is Mark 4:41. And it says, "They were terrified and asked each other, 'Who is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him.'" So I want you to spend some time reviewing that memory verse. It's really easy. It shouldn't take you that long. But also for your Bible lesson today, we talked about 2 stories this week. We talked about one where Jesus is out on the boat with the disciples, and the wind and the waves come and the storm comes, and Jesus calms the storm. And then the other one that we talked about yesterday was Jesus bringing his friend Lazarus back to life. And so both of those stories teach us about God's omnipotency and how he is all powerful. So what I want you to do today is I want you to get a piece of paper, or you can get some Legos, or you could use some action figures, whatever you want to do. And I want you to either draw or do a Lego build, or you can cut out like little paper people, whatever you want to do. You can get creative, and I want you to recreate one of our stories, okay? And then I want you to send me a picture of it. You can ask your mom or dad or whoever to take a picture of it and send it to me, and then I'm going to share them. So I want you to pick one of your stories, Lazarus or Jesus calming the storm, and I want you to do recreation of it, and I want you to share it with our friends. So that's your assignment for today, okay? So practice your memory verse. Your test is tomorrow, and you can work on it. You can do your Bible story recreation. You can work on it today, Thursday, and tomorrow for Friday. That'll be your same assignment. So you have a couple of days to get it done, okay? Bye, guys. Hey guys, it's time for math. It is day 4. It is Thursday of week 3. And so yesterday we talked a little bit about rounding. And when you round a number, when we talk about a number that's rounded to the nearest 10, that means that it ends in a 0, just like when we count by tens. So let's practice counting by tens. Here we go. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. All of those numbers end in what? 0. Very good. And so when we talk about a number that's rounded to the nearest 10, we know it's always going to end in 0. And we talked about our cookies, and we rounded all those cookies that me and Grandma baked, and we rounded that number to the nearest 10. Now, we're going to talk a little bit today about the rule for rounding a number. Well, how do you know which 10 to round it to? Well, we know we looked at a number line yesterday, and so it was easy to visually see which 10 to round it to. But that's not always going to be the case. You're not always going to have a number line. So what we're going to do today is we're going to learn a little rhyme, okay? And so I want you to think about the game Chutes and Ladders. Have you ever played the game Chutes and Ladders, where you spin the wheel and you have to move certain squares, and there's 100 squares, and you have to get from 0 to 100. But along the way, there is ladders that you can go up that give you a shortcut. But then there's also a chute or a slide that if you land on, you have to go down. Okay, and so when we think of rounding, I want you to think of the game Chutes and Ladders. So what we're going to do is we're going to learn a little rhyme. And the rhyme goes, 1 through 4, hit the floor, kind of like when you go down a slide. 5 through 9, take a climb, like you're going to go up a ladder. So when we're looking at rounding, we're going to use that little rhyme to help us. All right, so I want you to look at your math page. I want you to look on your math page. It's page 280 today. It's lesson 140, and it's on page 280. if you need to press pause and go get it, that'd be fine. All right, so when we're looking at a number, we're rounding it to the nearest 10. The number we're going to look at is we are going to look at the number in the ones place. So up here, I have a number. My number is, can you see it? 34. If I'm looking at 34, is this rounded to the nearest 10? No, because it doesn't end in a 0. Anytime a number is rounded to the nearest 10, it's going to end in a 0. So this number is not rounded to the nearest 10, so we have to round it. We have to get it to the nearest 10. Now, what are the two 10s that 34 is by or between? It's between 30 and 40. Okay, so when you see a number, think of the 10s that it's between 30 and 40. So I have a number line here. Now, is 34, let's look at it. If I'm looking at the 10s, is it closer to 30 or is it closer to 40? Well, we can kind of look on here and see that it's really closer to 30. But sometimes it's kind of tricky. So that's why I want to use that little rhyme to help us. So let's look at it. We're looking at the number that's in the ones place. 1 through 4, hit the floor, kind of like that slide. 5 through 9, take a climb. You're going to round up. So looking at 4, 1 through 4, hit the floor. So you're going to go down. So we're going to say that 34 is, when we round it, it is rounded to the nearest, it is rounded to 30, okay? Now, what other numbers on this number line would round to 30? 1 through 4, hit the floor. Right, 31, 32, and 33 are all gonna round to 30. 5 through 9, take a climb. 35, 36, 37, 38, 39 are all gonna round up to 40. Okay, so what is the number that's in the middle of the number line? What number do you see in the middle of the number line? It is 35. And 35 can be tricky because it's in the middle, right? But we have a rule that says anytime the number in the middle is always going to round up. 5 through 9, take a climb. Any number that has a 5 in the ones place rounds up to the greater 10. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a number. I'm going to call you out a number, and you're going to tell me what 10 does it round to. You can use your math page on page 280. You see that little truck going up the hill? Okay, you can use that to help you if you need to look. All right, so your first number is the number 22. 22. Would 22 round up to 30 or down to 20? 22. Would it round up to 30 or down to 20? Well, we look at the number in the ones place. 1 through 4, hit the floor. 5 through 9, take a climb. Well, it's gonna go down, it's gonna hit the floor, so we know that it would round to 20. All right, what about this number? 67. What would 67 round to? Think about the two 10s it's between. It's between 60 and 70. So, is it going to go down to 60 or up to 70? 1 through 4, hit the floor. 5 through 9, take a climb. It's going to go up to 70. All right, here's your last one. 85. 85, looking at our 1, what's it going to do? Up to 90, down to 80. it's going to go up to 90. Very good, because 1 through 4, hit the floor. 5 through 9, take a climb. All right, look at your page. Look at page 280. So I have we explained the top. So now look at number 1. You see your flamingos, okay? Color the numbers pink that round to 30, and color the numbers blue that round to 40. So you're going to have to look at the number in the ones place and decide 1 through 4, hit the floor. 5 through 9, take a climb. Okay, I'm going to let you do that by yourself. And then number 2, I want you to look at number 2. Remember, you can always press pause and finish and then get where we are. Number 2, it says write the 2 tens each number is between. Then you're going to circle the number it rounds to. So we'll do A together. 27 is between blank and blank. What 2 tens is 27 in between? Okay, it's between 20 and 30. Okay, the 2 tens is between 20 and 30. Now, which one is it going to round to? That's what we have to circle. Well, do I look at the 2 or do I look at the 7? I'll look at the 7. I'm looking at the ones. Now, look at that 7. Remember our rhyme. Is it going to round to 20 or is it going to round up to 30? Do you know? It's going to round up to 30. You need to circle 30. Okay, so there's 2 steps on that problem. Look at number 3. Mark the circle under the correct rounded number. So they gave you a number, 17. Okay, you're going to have to decide if it rounds down to 10 or up to 20, and you'll fill in the right number. And then number 4. Noah has a box of 16 colored pencils to use on the ride home. 7 pencils have sharp points. How many of Noah's pencils need to be sharpened? Okay, so let's look at that one. Noah has a box of 16 colored pencils to use on the ride home. 7 pencils have sharp points. How many of Noah's pencils need to be sharpened? So just like yesterday, we talked about how we have to label and we have to know what we're talking about when we do the word problem. So let's make a combination for this to solve this. So we know, how many pencils did he have? He had 16, right? And it said 7 pencils were sharpened or had sharp points. How many of Noah's pencils need to be sharpened? So we need to find the difference between how many we had versus how many we had sharpened and what the difference was. So if we're looking for the difference, we're going to add, subtract. We're going to subtract. So your number sentence would look like this: 16 minus 7, and then you will have to solve it. Now, remember, whatever your answer is, you're going to write the number, and then you're going to write a label for your answer. So what are we talking about in this story? He had how many? How many what? He had, you're going to solve it, and you write the number, and then you're going to label it. Blank pencils. Okay, we have to put a label on our answer. All right, so you're going to go back and you're going to finish that page 280, and then you're going to go and review page 279. And I will see you tomorrow for math. Oops, sorry, went to push play and the iPad fell. Hey guys, it is week 3 and it is Thursday, and we are working on phonics lesson 142 today. So before we begin, go ahead and get your phonics lesson paper out. It is page 283 and 284. And so we are going to do page 283 together, and then 284 you're going to do independently on your own. Okay, so press pause, grab your paper, and come back. All right, we are continuing our instruction on adverbs. And since yesterday, we have been learning about what an adverb is. And I actually put a link on your websites for this week for you to go and listen to the adverb jingle. That we usually listen to jingles to help us with their parts of speech. Yesterday I played it on the video, but I've also given you a link on YouTube so your parents can go there and you can listen to it as well. But we know that an adverb tells about a verb, okay? So I'm going to ask you something. I want you to say your name loudly. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Miss Penny! Okay, there, I said it loudly. Now I want you to say your name quietly. Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3. Miss Penny. All right. Now I want you to say your name quickly. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Miss Penny. Okay. Now I want you to say your name slowly. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Miss Penny. All right, very good. Now, I know that's kind of silly, but the reason why I did that is because I want you to understand a little bit more about adverbs. So when I ask you to say your name loudly, how did you say it? You screamed it, right? Or you might have just said it, loudly. If I ask you to say your name quietly, how did you say it? You said it quietly, right? And when I ask you to say your name quickly or slowly, how did you say it? Quickly or slowly? Well, the reason why we did that exercise is because adverbs answer how about a verb, okay? They tell us how about the verb. So we know from our adverb jingle that it answers 3 questions: how, when, and where. Well, today we're just mainly looking at how, okay? So what I want you to do is I have some sentences up here, and let's talk about, we're gonna add some adverbs to these sentences, okay? So let's look at the first one. Kay writes. Kay writes how? How can Kay write? Well, what about this one? Kay writes neatly. How does Kay write? Neatly. So neatly becomes our adverb, and it tells about our verb, so it modifies the verb. Okay? Could we have picked a different word than neatly? Yes. Kay writes messy. Kay writes quickly. Okay? Look at the next one. We sang blank. We sang blank. How did we sing? Can you come up with an adverb? How did we sing? We sang joyfully. Okay? Joyfully tells us about our verb. It answers the question, how did we sing? We sang joyfully. So it modifies our verb. All right, if you notice that a lot of my adverbs that we talk about end in the suffix ly. Not all adverbs end in ly, but a lot of them do. So a lot of times you'll come up with adverbs that end in ly, and that's fine if they all do. But as you get older and you write more and into higher grades, you're going to learn more that they don't always end in ly. Okay, so the frog jumped blank. How did the frog jump? How did he jump? Did he jump high? That one doesn't end in ly, does it? No. But how? What's our verb? So to find the adverb, we have to go look for the verb. So where's the verb? jumped, so we're going to underline it twice. And then we ask the question, how did he jump? He jumped high. So high modifies our verb jumped. Bill worked blank. Bill worked blank. Okay, we're going to find our verb first. Worked. We're going to underline it twice. Bill worked how? Bill worked quickly. He wanted to get his job done. He worked quickly. How did Bill work? He worked quickly. So quickly becomes our adverb, which tells about our verb. So what you're going to do today on your phonics page is you're going to do some of the same things, okay? So looking at your phonics page, page 283, remember at the top, look at the dog bone. An adverb is a word that describes a verb. An adverb may tell how the action of the verb is done. William stopped suddenly. How did he stop? Suddenly. Suddenly, William stopped. So it's not always going to be right after your verb. It might be in a different part of the sentence. So you're going to have to ask your question, how? That's why it's really important to learn those questions. Okay, look at number 1. We're going to read the sentence. We're going to look at the verb and circle the adverb that tells how the verb was done. Then draw a small arrow from the adverb to the verb. Okay, so you're going to kind of do what Miss Penny did right here. So let's look at the first one. Our new puppy eats sloppily. Okay, they did it for you. No, they didn't do it for you, but they did underline your verb for you. So eats is your verb, so they underlined it twice. And then how does he eat? Sloppily. So sloppily is your adverb. Can you circle sloppily? And then you're going to draw a line from sloppily to eats because that tells you how he eats. Look at the next one. Dad painted our new clubhouse beautifully. Okay. Dad painted our new clubhouse beautifully. Now remember, it's not always going to be right beside you. The adverb's not always going to be right beside your verb. So you have to ask the question. Look at the verb, which is painted. So it's underlined twice. How did Dad paint our house? Beautifully. So circle beautifully is your adverb. And what word does adverb describe? What word does beautifully describe? It describes painted. So you're going to draw a line from beautifully, the adverb, to painted, the verb. Look at the next one. Karen answered Mom truthfully. Sorry. Karen answered Mom truthfully. So where's your verb? Answered. How did she answer? Truthfully. Very good. Circle truthfully and draw a line from truthfully to answered. Look at the next one. Quickly, the firefighter put out the fire. Okay, so where's your verb? Put, right? So let's ask our question. How did he put? He put quickly. Good. So circle quickly and draw a line from put to quickly. Many adverbs, look at the paw print, end in the suffix ly. If a root word ends in y, change the y to I before adding ly. Okay, so that's one of our suffix rules. If it ends in a y, we have to change the y to an I. Okay, just like if we were adding est or er. So happy plus ly would be what? Happily. Okay, so you're going to drop that y, change it to an I, and you should have happily. 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 All right. What about easy? Easy plus ly. How would we make a new adverb? What would it be? Easily. Okay, so how did you spell easily? Drop that y in easy and change it to an I. E-A-S-I-L-Y. Look at your next one. Messy plus ly. Messy plus ly. The dog ate the dog food messily. How do you spell messily? Well, it ends in a Y, so we're going to drop that Y, change it to I, and add L-Y. M-E-S-S-I-L-Y. Slowly. No, I'm slowly. Oh, Miss Penny, she only had 1 cup of coffee today, so my brain's not working. Not slowly. Slowly is not a word. So slow plus ly would be what? That's easy. Just slowly. Very good. All right. Think about the question how on number 3. How, and write an adverb for each of the verbs. All right. So if you're going to make an adverb for eat, how did he eat? Did he eat quickly? Did he eat slowly? If you were eating ice cream, you'd want to eat it slowly to take your time so you could enjoy it. Did he eat it messily? Maybe he made a mess. The baby probably eats messily, right? Did he eat happily? Maybe it was something he really loved, right? All right, snore. Uh-oh, don't tell your dad. Snore. How does your dad snore? Does he snore probably what? Loudly. All right, snores loudly. Maybe he snores often, okay? So you can kind of come up with your own there. All right, look at dictation at the bottom. All right, I'm going to give you a sentence, and I want you to write your sentence. You ready? Your sentence is, Mom made yummy cherry jelly. Mom made yummy cherry jelly. Mom made yummy cherry jelly. So I'm going to erase this. Here we go. Mom made yummy. I'm going to go down to the next line. Cherry jelly. Did you spell it all right? Now, looking at that sentence, I want you to find 2 adjectives that describe what kind of jelly Mom made. What 2 words, 2 adjectives in this sentence that describe what kind of jelly Mom made? Can you circle them? What kind of jelly did she make? She made yummy jelly. And what other kind of jelly did she make? Cherry jelly. Very good. So these are adjectives because they tell about a noun. Okay, it's just a review from yesterday, or from last week, sorry. All right, if you look at page 284, you're going to complete that by yourself. All right, you're going to read the directions. There's some antonym work there. Remember, antonyms mean opposites. And at the bottom, you're going to unscramble the words and make a sentence, okay? And then you need to remember the punctuation and remember your types of sentences. Excuse me. Remember your types of sentences: declarative, interrogative, exclamatory, and imperative. Interrogative would be what kind of sentence? A question. And imperative is a command. So you're going to do that page by yourself, and I'm going to see you tomorrow.